Armored Core Master of Arena is the second sequel and expansion pack to the original Armored Core. This is the final US game for the PS1 From Software ever put out, and they wanted to go out with a real bang, it seemed. So of course, the best way to celebrate everything you did on a console is to reuse content and add nothing new. Okay, I'm being unfair. MOA is a fine expansion pack, arguably it's better than Project Phantasma, but don't go in expecting any massive shakeups or crazy additions. This is still Armored Core through and through, the same way you left it 2 years ago. So expect a third-person shooter with somewhat clunky controls, a deep shopping garage system that lets you make the coolest Gundam of your dreams, or a true freak of mechanical engineering, and an arena to go head-to-head with other Ravens in an attempt to climb the ranks, earn money and parts. Although, unlike Project Phantasma, the arena isn't unlocked from the get-go. Also, unlike AC1 and PP, which were the shotgun and railgun approach to story respectively, MOA takes the best of both worlds. You play as the Annihilator, that's what the wiki calls you, a Raven who joined up with the Nest in an attempt to find the #1 ranked Raven, Nineball, for killing your family on an op gone wrong. As Nineball is sitting pretty comfortably at the top, it's up to you to work with a handler, Lena, to get into the good graces of a company called ProgTech and use them to springboard into a sponsor for the arena and get climbing. So you have a linear, understandable story like Project Phantasma, but just like the base game, you also have the ability to take on different jobs or outright ignore missions altogether to focus on the arena. No matter what you do, any way is valid. Occasionally ProgTech will pull strings to force you to go away from the arena or to do a mission for them. They are, after all, paying for your sponsor. And occasionally the opposite is true. There's no mission, so you can only focus on the arena. As you continue on, you eventually become buddy-buddy with their head scientist, Alan Cubis, who will occasionally give you a mission completely unrelated to Lena. This royally pisses off Lena the first time and causes her to leave you the second time, the rude bitch. Eventually, your dealings with ProgTech bring you more and more in conflict with Nineball, even causing you to actually fight several times. Unfortunately, this plot structure is all the game has going for it. For now, there's some missions you have to do, and you're forced to clear a certain amount of the sub-arena and finally the entirety of the main arena. With this, you are free to tackle this however you want when the two are offered as options. There's nothing amazing in mission variety here, after all there's only so much you can do with the mech combat genre. But contrary to what I thought going in, there are actually hidden AC parts. So get those guides handy, ladies and gentlemen and everyone in between. However, aside from having some wiggle room, that's it. There's really nothing new to this game in particular that wasn't grandfathered in. Hell, all the secret AC parts of the last game are readily available here, albeit costing a kidney to obtain. So with that, let's wrap this story up right here and now. After Lena dumps you, you work with Alan to try and defend ProgTech against attacks from Nineball, up till a mission where Nineball holds Alan hostage until you can reach him. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen, my first true fight with Nineball. And befitting of the #1 ranked Raven, he kicks my ass! Though this time, it was because the level up to this point had a good chance of weakening you. A few tries later, and I did it! I killed a Nineball! However, Nineball is still on the rankings. If you remember how the first game went, you weren't surprised. Working your way up the arena and on the eve of your ultimate showdown with Ultimate Destiny, you get a message from Lena asking you to meet her in person for the first time to make sense of everything that's happened so far. However, the fact that you can't fight Nineball proper, plus her strange language choice and backhanded compliments, tell you all you need to know that the bitch is lying. Enter the factory to come face to face with yet another Nineball. And if you haven't figured it out yet, Nineball and Lena are one and the same. Progression reveals... holy shit. So you know how one Nineball is horrific enough to kill? Now imagine them mass-produced, and you've stared into what the 5th circle of hell looks like. Plus, as it's ranting, Nineball drops the final bombshell of the first generation. Everything of the first game in this was a lie. Everything was constructed by the AI core. Chrome, the AI. Murakamo, the AI. The entirety of the Raven's Nest itself, the entire thing was run by the AI. The AI duped everyone, every Raven, every Corpo, every human, forcing them to fight for its own sick idea of what humanity should be. That's why the original Raven and Annihilator were blacklisted. They became so powerful they could take the AI down. That's why they weren't part of the program. That's how they became irregular. Well, are you just gonna sit there and let a computer tell you what to do? But before that, get ready for a showdown with 18 balls again. At the same time, what follows is one of the most insane battlefields in the game, with 2 human plus cheating fuckwaffles blasting you with the things that you cannot possibly fire back with. Persevere and you're off to the final showdown. By the way, kids these days, they're obsessed with this thing called ARA, right? Well, how was this for pure, raw PlayStation 1 ARA? You saw nothing.
Modifying program, final level. All system checks are complete. Combat mode is now engaged. Target verified. Commencing hostilities.
Welcome to the final boss from hell, 9-Ball Seraph. Immediately you're likely to take thousands in damage from his opening salvo. 9-Ball Seraph is an incredibly fast opponent, moving like he took inspiration from the wrong pantheon, hits like a rocket-propelled train, and can fly indefinitely. The only saving grace of this is that he's still a middleweight AC, and because of that, due to how story mode works, he is a glass cannon. No matter what goes down in this fight, it will end in the flash of a laser blade. And even in death, 9-Ball is defiant to the very end. According to FromSoft, this game wraps up at the same time the original does, so that means 9-Ball is gone for good. Right, the story of MOA is done. However, anyone who has even glanced at the box art for the game has one major question going this entire time, and I've been trying to do my best impression of an Ace Attorney criminal and try to ignore it without outright admitting it. I've run and I run, but I can't run no more. Master of Arena is a 2-disc game, so what's hiding on the other disc? A massive 100 other combatants, all with unique backgrounds, paint jobs, core loadouts, and most importantly, battle tactics. Add in the 49 on the first disc, and that means you have a jaw-aching 149 ravens to get through if you want to be the, master of the fucking arena. The arena is split up into the 4 groups of ACs that you can have, and then things get a little fourth wall breaking by having a bunch of Japanese game magazine directors, champions of the previous game from a tournament, and the From Software creators themselves coming down to ruin your day. Some games are perfectly content with credits being at the end of the game, but From Software has the credits kick your ass instead, before finally ending with the brutal stretch of the 20 hardest cores the creators could come up with. This is a challenge so insane, so hardcore, so time-consuming, only the truly dedicated, the insane, or the insanely stupid can claim victory. So I did it. I sat down, buckled the fuck up, and shot my way through all 150 challenges. Some so easy I could have fallen asleep and still won, and some more challenging than anything else I've ever seen in a From Software game. I say this with no hyperbole, no question, no hesitation. This is the hardest game I have ever played. At least it's the hardest From Software game I've ever played. Yes, harder than Bloodborne, harder than Sekiro. If you're wondering why a video so short took so long to come out, it's because of these pains in my taint. Some of the stuff I said with my family nearby should not be uttered by another human being. Do you want to know how long I was at this game? I was in so long that I learned the camera is actually dog shit. It's nowhere near fast enough to keep up with any of the quicker cores, and if you ever decide to take to the skies, you'll learn that the cameraman was daydreaming about how Crash Bandicoot was called the Sonic's ass game, realized it was meant to follow you, and the weed-frayed synapses in his mind fired to look right up your core's tailpipe. Bad controls and cameras aren't the only reason this game is so hard though. For the more jumpy cores, you can be smart by using the parking garage map to get them into a cage match with you, and for the faster ones, you just gotta get good. You can actually learn to deal with them. What's not fair under any circumstances is half of the arena abusing Human Plus. For those of you not aware, Human Plus is an enhancement in the original Armored Core that allowed you to earn bonuses to your core that you cannot get through normal gameplay at the cost of your progress and name. I didn't use it, it's a bit shameful in my eyes. However, almost every single champion and Master Arena opponent uses and abuses the system that it gives you. For example, a lot of enemies just have a laser blade attack that can take off 3000 AP in one hit at close range. There is often nothing you can do about it, and if you're close enough for one, you're stun locked long enough for another. A lot of cores also break what should be feasibly possible because they are overweight. You can't be overweight, but they sure can. If you want to even the playing field, you need to import a Human Plus save from AC1. No save, no Human Plus. And even if they don't do that, some of them are just raging tryhards using brutal, unfair tactics. Now that's not to say that everyone is a raging cheater and the entire process is unfun. Actually, for the vast majority of the arena, fighting is as fun as you can get on the PS1. Matching enemies for speed, taking pot shots, changing weapons, trying to get in for close range laser blade kills. I know I spent the majority of this review bitching, but when you have a good, honest fight in the arena, it's the win that keeps your wings going. Actually, for as much complaining as I did, the last 5 enemies of the Master Arena were all like this. So I did it. I took down Subjugator. I am the 9-breaker. I am the master of the arena. So what do I want to do looking down from this high little perch I found myself in? With my newfound power, I declare war on Lilith Walker. Let us cross laser blades for first-generation Armored Core supremacy. Actually, that's a terrible idea. She probably 360 no-scope me immediately or something. You know what? After how brutal this was, I'm being lazy. Next video is a sequel to what I don't know. And I haven't used this song in a long while, but today, I earned it, yo.